And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Up first, some advisories and warnings out here. Winter weather advisories off the Yukon Delta here up the Yukon River there, and then a winter storm warning out here for the lower Yukon River Valley area as well as the central Seward Peninsula. And those go into effect, let's see, tomorrow afternoon, all these areas. And for the warning, expecting heavy snow in those areas tomorrow afternoon through tomorrow night. And in the advisory areas, expecting not so heavy snow. And to the east here, these are high wind advisories and warnings for the Alaska Range for tomorrow afternoon through tomorrow night and into Monday for gusty winds from the south and southeast, and we're gusting 40 to 70 miles per hour. And on satellite here, we've got this system tracking eastward over the eastern Aleutians, tracking eastward over the Queen Charlotte Islands there. That kept it wet over the southern panhandle, but it was much drier up to the north. And then back out here to the west, we've got a front just coming onto the chart there. Actually, one dissipates, another one comes in behind it. And then down that's just off the map here, the low center here south of the eastern Aleutians. But that pushing wind and rain up this afternoon from the Fox Islands over into the Alaska Peninsula. And then low pressure up here shifting northward a little bit there and toward the Bering Strait, or actually over toward the eastern Russian coast there. That producing a widespread area of light snow and clouds here into the western interior areas, back up across Kotzebue, and some gusty winds. Point Lay seeing gusts up to about 40 miles an hour there out of the northeast. And for the map today at the surface, we've got low pressure here just off the Yukon Delta coast. And again, that keeping a lot of light snow going from the Seward Peninsula here, Nome in toward Golovin, eastern Norton Sound, right into the mid-Yukon River Valley areas and southward, ending here toward Dillingham and in toward Bristol Bay. And then the next system coming northward here, spreading wind and rain up into the eastern Aleutians. And winds picking up in the Alaska Peninsula here, getting gusts anywhere from 30 to 40 miles an hour so far this afternoon. And for the southeast coastal areas, some clearing in the north and continued wet in the south as this low slowly tracks eastward there. And then some light snow for the eastern Brooks Range throughout much of the day today. And for tonight, showers are still possible here for Prince William Sound and the southern Kenai Peninsula area, but nothing heavy at all. Winds are light through this area. High pressure finally dries it out here over the southeast coast as that low kicks off to the southeast, taking all the moisture with it. Areas of light snow continue shifting northward, so tapering off back here to the southwest, becoming dry for the Yukon Delta, and also just some flurries now for the western Seward Peninsula up through the strait there. Still a little breezy there for the western Arctic coast, down to about Point Hope for those gusty northeast winds. And mostly clear for the Arctic coast, temperatures below zero there. And this storm bringing in gale force winds and rain spreading in toward Kodiak Island later tonight. Rain and snow shifting northward here across Bristol Bay, reaching the coastal areas there. Togiak over toward Dillingham, Cape Newnham, with a definite increase in the winds. And back to the west, a weakening front that's really not going to amount to too much. This kind of falls apart here tomorrow, Sunday, just breaking up out there as this storm system pulls up to the eastern Aleutians. And again, gale and in some cases storm force winds, especially here for the southern Cook Inlet, or not southern Cook Inlet, but the Barren Islands, Kamishak Bay, looking at storm force winds, otherwise gale force winds here ahead of the front. Snow and blowing snow and the increase spreading northward across the Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta, and less snow, but still lingering with some clouds and areas of light snow or snow showers there over the northern part of the state, but north of the Brooks Range, not too bad, mostly dry. And St. Lawrence Island, still a chance of snow over toward Gamble, back up toward maybe Diomede Island. That's about it. Southeast coast, mostly dry, light winds, some clearing. Isolated shower or two possible here, Yakutat over in toward Elfin Cove. And then for Monday, this low center pulls back to the northwest here and starts to weaken over the central Bering Sea. The front pushes northward, and some good winds and snow spreading up across the Seward Peninsula into the northwest coast and the western Arctic coast there. with mixed precipitation starting to taper off. In fact, this portion of the front becoming quite dry, just very light precipitation with that of a mixed nature there. Rain, more air, south to north flow here, continues to pull warm air northward, so we're looking at rain all the way across the Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta areas. Rain and gusty winds here, south central Alaska. Drying out though for Kodiak Island, but rain spreading in toward Yakutat, but remaining off the southeast coast and out to the west. Another system starting to bring some rain up to the central Aleutians, but this one's going to take a more southern track than this one did. In other words, it's not going to enter the Bering Sea at all. It's going to track off to the east. And then for lows tonight, again, 0 to 10 below for the North Slope Arctic coast into the Berks Range. Otherwise, single numbers and teens here in the interior. 20s for the St. Lawrence Island area, and there are 30 for the Pribilofs, and mid-30s, mid to upper 30s for the Aleutians. And for the southeast coast, lows in the 30s to near 40, and we'll see in the 20s here, south central Alaska. Highs for tomorrow, upper 30s and lower 40s for Bristol Bay, mid 40s Kodiak Island and the Alaska Peninsula, and then upper 30s for Adak and Atka, and for the Pribilofs, mid 30s there, St. Lawrence Island, upper 20s, and up to the north, we've got temperatures actually not too bad for this time of year. A little below 0 for the North Slope and right around 0 for the Arctic coast. Teens and 20s warming up here with that increasing southeast wind expected across the Alaska range. Definitely coming above freezing tomorrow for all of south central Alaska. Mid to upper 30s, Susitna Valley into the northern Kenai Peninsula. Lower 40s down toward Homer. Mid 40s Kodiak Island. And then the lows on Monday morning. Again, 5 above to 5 below, give or take. There may be 10 below for the North Slope. Otherwise, teens to near 20 for the Tanana Valley area. And 20s back out to the west. Otherwise, 30s for the southeast coast, near 40 for Sitka and Kodiak. And lows in the upper 20s to lower 30s, south central Alaska. Lower 30s for the Aleutians. Highs pretty mild here, 40s for Bristol Bay, upper 30s. You see above freezing temperatures all the way up into the southern Seward Peninsula there, with temperatures in the upper 20s to lower 30s for the northwest coast, and 5 to 15 for the Arctic coast now. And above freezing temperatures expected in the Tanana Valley, upper 30s to lower 40s there, but markedly cooler over toward Northway Tok on up to Eagle, teens and 20s there, and in the 30s to mid 40s for the southeast coast.